You just gave your classic car a tune-up and now it runs like garbage. You didn't buy bad parts, you probably missed one of these 5 simple mistakes. You may even say that you know better and that you'll never make these mistakes, yet I know we all have. Fuel filters are directional, especially the little ones that go at the carburetor. And sure, the canister style ones would probably work just fine running backwards, but these little guys, they don't. And if you get one of these into the filter inlet backwards, fuel doesn't flow. And that shows up as drivability problems. Fuel doesn't seem to get into the carburetor, but yet clearly you take the fuel line off, fuel is flowing to the carburetor. Well, it may not be going in. And I can hear somebody out there going, I'd never make that mistake, yet I've seen it happen a few more times than I'd like to admit, and I've almost done it myself in a rush. And if you install those canister-style fuel filters backwards, you run the risk of fuel starvation, all the same kind of things, because the filter media is really meant to flow one way, and they're not going to last as long even if they do work. Plus, how are you going to see the junk that you're catching on those clear plastic ones if you run them backwards? You had the air filter off to take care of stuff. You put it back on, hit the key, and now it's running all sorts of funny lean misses and various other things. Did you remember to hook up that vacuum line that's to the bottom of the air cleaner if it's still there? I know I've forgotten that more times than I'd like to count, and every time I realized, I need to remember, there's vacuum lines there. Or if you're working in a very tight, cramped part of the engine bay, I know like right behind the distributor on my 3.8 Buick is that area. There's one of those coolant thermal temperature reactors, and I've bumped those, broken them and didn't realize it, knocked vacuum lines off, vacuum caps, they come off. Did you bump something and not hook it back up?
Don't forget to check the brake booster hard line. That one causes all sorts of big vacuum leaks. Or maybe you bumped it off at the brake booster and now the brakes feel funny and you got a big vacuum leak.
Cars are made up of connections, electrical, plumbing. Imagine what would happen if that first loose electrical connection looked like that plumbing, that fuel line that didn't get tightened completely, and electrons were flying everywhere. Good thing that's not the case, but I know I've left my fair share of electrical connectors loose when they needed to be tight. That plug on the side of the alternator, yep, I've let that not get snugged in once or twice. The air conditioner, wonder why my AC isn't working when it's just not plugged in. Everything under the hood is an opportunity to be left loose. And whether it's something simple like getting the HEI power plugged back in correctly, or a coil pack on your LS engine, or even the ignition, the magnetic pickup on your race car.
If you're running an older MSD system, ignition system, this is probably one of the most notoriously troublesome connectors there ever was. You can have that thing connected, but the pins may not be inserted into the opposing side over there. So I've actually had that connected and the car still wouldn't start, and the problem was that the pin was pushed out the back just enough to not make connection. So if you're ever dealing with these connections, make sure you take a second and make sure that the connections themselves are pushed solidly into each other. Have you ever looked at those spark plug wires that have the numbers on them and go, I wonder if you actually ever need those? Well, you'll see below that I actually have my terminals on my distributor numbered, so that way at a quick glance, I can ensure that 1 goes to 1, 8 goes to 8, and so on down the firing order.
And it's actually twofold. I was teaching my son about the firing order of a small block Chevy, and after I was done, I took a look at it and went, that's actually a really good thing to have, especially at the track, as a very quick visual of they're in the right place. I know I've done the 5/7 swap on the spark plugs a few times and the car runs for crap and wondered why. Well, this is a quick and easy failsafe. If everything's numbered, you've got a good easy visual as to having them connected correctly. And here's the other common one I see. There's a problem here. Do you see it?
How about now? Do you see it? Probably not. This is just sitting on the terminal of the distributor, but it's not snapped into place. I've seen more poor running characteristics because the plug wire itself wasn't snapped on at the distributor or down here at the spark plug.
My trick, when I'm done doing tune-up stuff around the distributor and stuff, I go around one more time, make sure they're all pushed on. Same with the spark plugs. I go up the line, making sure they're all positive in the same, locked into the correct location.
I also take a second and look to make sure that the gaps are equal across them all, because that's a visual giveaway. There's something wrong. An honorable mention of oopsie flops, forgetting to get the cotter pin or retaining clip on your carburetor. First time you hit the gas, it goes plop. You wonder, oh crap, what's wrong? The second honorable mention, not pumping the brakes after you do a brake job, because you push those pistons back in. If you don't pump the brakes to make sure you get that piston expanded and in contact with the rotor, that first stop's going to be a little scary. And if you've done it, you know what I mean.
Now, here for the last and biggest oops that makes your car run crappy. When you have the distributor taken apart, that affects your timing, doesn't it? If you put everything back together and don't check your timing and it runs crappy, there's probably a problem here. So anytime you have the distributor off, the distributor cap off, you're doing stuff in the distributor, you're changing the AGI module, you're doing something in there, check the timing when you're done. I saw it recently on a Facebook thread. Guy did the distributor cap and module and rotor on his HEI ignition to El Camino, and the car ran crappy when he was done. Didn't check the timing. Well, he responded back later and said that the timing was a stellar 4 degrees before top dead center, when it needed to be 12 degrees before top dead center. Those 8 degrees make a huge difference in how the car runs. I know it may be tempting to skip the timing light, but make sure you put it on the car and see where the timing actually is. And bonus points if you do it before and after, that way you know they match. So I want to hear from you guys. Have you made any of the mistakes on this list? Do you have any other, dumb mistakes that you've seen others make? Put them in the comments. Let's talk about them so that way we don't make these same mistakes over and over. Thanks for watching, and if you want to learn how to track down electrical gremlins in 10 minutes flat, check out this video over here. I know you like that one too. We'll see you later.